Hi, Year 9. Yesterday I went through a couple of things with you guys looking at finding percentages of amounts and just working off 10% of things to do any particular thing. So we were doing things like, 10% of 40. And we just said, okay, that means 40 divided by 10 is 4. That was 10%. We realised we could do, well, if 4 is 10%, and if we double that, we get 20%. Well, that means 20% must be 8, which means, okay, if I wanted 30%, I could add these two together. 10 and 20 make 30. 30% must be 12. And we can keep building percentages like that. So that's that. Today, we're going to apply percentages. And actually, mostly in the real world, when you're applying percentages, you're just going to be using a calculator to do it. So that's what we're going to be looking at, using our calculator as well today. So we'll start you off. We'll just go for something like, what is 35% of 75 pounds? Okay? Because we're often applying percentages to dollar amounts as part of financing, just about anything, taxation, a lot. So 35% of 75 pounds. Well, cool. I've certainly mentioned it before, you may remember, when you see of in maths, always thinking the same thing. This will translate to a multiplication. So we're going to be doing 35% times 75. However, this is not what we sit in our calculator. The calculator doesn't want to know about 35%. It doesn't know it's a percentage, so we're going to indicate we want a percentage by turning it into a different format, and that's where we go over here. Now remember, per cent. We translate that as per meaning out of, and cent is the prefix for century or anything. It's centi means 100. So per cent, 35 out of 100. 35% is 35 out of 100. So 35% means 35 out of 100. There we go. Just switched into a fraction. And that means 35 divide 100, which if you need to, stick it in your calculator, find out. But we got pretty good at this at one stage. That means we're going to end up with 0.35. So if you're actually fast about this, you just go, look, hey, check it out, 35%. I know the decimal point is there. I'm going to shift it 2 places to the left to give me my decimal version, which I can stick in my calculator. So when we're doing these, of becomes times, percentage we stick in as a decimal, and we're away. We stick into our calculator, okay, and I've got my scientific one. You have whatever calculator you like. 0.35 times 75. Boom. I get my calculator gives me as a fraction. I'm going to switch it over. There we go. 26.25. That's what yours will likely say to you. Or £26.25. Cool. And that's pretty much what we're going to be applying today. The big trick, turn that into a decimal and multiplying away. So I'll give you another one. Let's go for 28% of 56 pounds. Just making these percentages up, just picking them out of the air, really. We'll do that and we'll go, okay, well, we know of in maths always means you're going to turn it into a times. 56 is just going to be 56. That's cool. 28%. Let's switch it over. 28 out of 100. Well, that means 28 divide 100, which means 0.28 is my decimal version of that percentage. Stick it in your calculator and away we go. 0.28 times 56 equals, in this case, I get 15.68. I should probably put the pound sign in there, shouldn't I? 15.68, £15.68. Awesome. Now you're going to get some questions a little bit later, and you're going to do the exact same process. It might not be money. They might say things like this. We got 710 kids at St. Sampson's. Cool. And we're going to say, hey, check it out. You know what? 30% are better than the rest because they're in Leo House. Yay, Leo. Just turns out that way. I don't know what it is. I mean, we apparently randomly select kids, but all the kids that end up in Leo are just better than most. Facts. Anyway, moving on. 30% in Leo. So what is 30%? How many kids is that? Well, we're going to do 30% of 710. Of is times 30%. Decimal points there. Let's shift it so it's effectively 0.30. A lot of us realise we don't really need that 0 at the end. So again, you're just going to be going 0.3 times 710. Boom. 213 kids are the best kind of kid because they're a Leo kid. You know what? Move it on. We're going to say that, 20% of kids at the high school are in year 9. So we're going to do 20% of 710. Of is times 710 stays at 20%. We know it's going to be 0.20 as a decimal. You don't have to put the 0. Stick it in your calculator. 0.2 times 710 equals 142. Cool. Oh, we can't quite see that. There we go. That was my last little bit. Excuse me. And that's all I'm going to get you to do today. It really is picking up those skills we worked on quite a while ago. It's converting percentages through to fractions, through to decimals, and just getting good at switching between these things is really, really important. One of the really, really big skills that's going to keep coming back. And it's great because in the real world, we use a calculator to do a lot of our percentages. And honestly, switching it to a decimal is pretty easy once you know how. Cool, guys. Enjoy. I'll check how you go later on.